They came in ships so bright they turned the night sky into a false dawn. The Vashkai, tall, silver-skinned, four-eyed beings who saw themselves as gods of the stars, arrived not with greetings, but proclamations. The year was 2189. Earth had unified, built colonies on Mars and Titan, and even sent out peace envoys beyond the solar system. But to the Vashkai, humans were insects crawling out of their cradle. By decree of the Vashkai Empire, their high speaker had announced over every human transmission channel, "This system is hereby annexed. Compliance ensures mercy. Humanity didn't comply. They resisted. And for that," the Vashkai laughed, "the humiliation begins. Admiral, they've entered orbit over Mars," said Commander Ruiz, his voice steady but pale. On the hollow display, a fleet of 20 Vashkai dreadnoughts glowed like suns. Admiral Helena Cross stared silently. "And Earth?" "Broadcasting demands again." "They're ignoring them." She clenched her jaw. "Let them." The humans had warned the Vashkai to leave their colonies in peace. They had sent 3 diplomatic envoys, all ignored. The fourth one, the most polite, composed entirely of AI translators, had been vaporized before finishing its first word. Now, Mars was surrounded. Earth's space fleets were ancient by comparison, outgunned 1,000 to 1. Humanity's only advantage was desperation, and something the aliens didn't yet know existed. The Vashkai mockery from the flagship Vector Dominion. High Warlord Siraktan observed the human fleet, small metallic dots among the dust of Mars' orbit. "Primitive metal coffins," he said, his voice rippling through 4 throats. "Why do they not kneel? Their species must have a death wish." The lower officers hissed agreement. They had studied humans, fragile bones, oxygen dependency, crude combustion engines before they learned fusion. To them, the humans were children playing at soldiers. "Transmit to them," Siraktan ordered. "Tell their leader to surrender Mars within 1 rotation or watch it burn." "Humanity's silent weapon, status of Project Blacklight?" Admiral Cross asked in the underground war room beneath Olympus Mons. The scientists exchanged nervous looks. Dr. Nathan Cole, the lead physicist, swallowed hard. "It's ready, theoretically, but we've never tested a gravitational compression bomb on this scale." Cross's eyes didn't waver. "How many Vashkai ships could it take out?" Cole hesitated. "All of them, if it works. But if it doesn't, it could split Mars in half." A long silence followed. "Then we'll aim for the void between their ships," Cross said. "We won't give them Earth. Not after what they did to Europa." The Europa massacre 3 months earlier. Europa colony, population 42,000, had broadcast a plea for help as Vashkai vessels descended. The aliens had taken their water mining stations, killed the men, and captured the women and children for specimen study. When the human fleet arrived 12 hours later, nothing was left but ice and floating corpses. Humanity had buried the footage. But they had remembered. That was when Project Blacklight was born, a secret collaboration between every surviving human power, merging physics, AI, and sheer hatred into one device. The final demand on the 7th day of the siege. "A transmission arrived. Human Admiral Helena Cross," the translator announced as the High Warlord appeared. 4 eyes gleaming, armor etched with gold. "You have resisted long enough. Deliver your surrender. You are outmatched in every measure." Helena folded her hands calmly on the console. "Withdraw your fleet, now," the alien smirked. "Or what?" She met his gaze. "Or you'll learn humility." Siraktan laughed, a deep vibrating growl. "Humility? You are creatures who cannot survive without air. You are dust. The Vashkai bend worlds, tear stars apart. You threaten us?" Helena leaned forward slightly. "Yes." The transmission cut. Siraktan turned to his officers, amused. "Destroy Mars. Sound detonation. The human fleet scattered. Hundreds of small ships darted around Mars like gnats. The Vashkai weapons began to charge. Blue fire building in colossal cannons, deep beneath the Martian surface. Inside an underground vault, Project Blacklight came alive. Dr. Cole watched as the countdown began. His hands trembled over the manual override. "If this goes wrong, it won't," Helena said, standing beside him. "They think they're gods. Let's show them what mortals can do." 10 seconds, said the AI. "May Earth forgive us," Cole whispered. The birth of a star when Blacklight detonated. There was no explosion at first, only silence. Then space folded. A point of impossible light appeared between the alien dreadnoughts, gravity bending, photons warping. Ships twisted inward like they were being devoured by an invisible throat. One moment, the Vashkai fleet existed. The next half of it was gone. The rest tried to flee, their engines screaming as space-time tore them apart. Those that escaped the event horizon limped away, half melted, their systems fried. Helena watched the feed, her lips trembling. My God. Dr. Cole could barely breathe. It worked. The aftermath across human channels, cheers erupted. For the first time in recorded history, humanity had annihilated a Vashkai fleet. Earth transmitted one message to the retreating aliens. You have violated our home, slaughtered our people, and mocked our existence. Leave this system, or we will bury you under your own arrogance. The message was short. The silence afterward was longer. For 3 days, no alien response came. Then, unexpectedly, a transmission arrived, not from the warlord, but from the High Council of the Vashkai Empire itself. The apology, the figure that appeared on human screens, was ancient, a Vashkai elder whose silver skin had dulled to gray. Humans, he said, his voice soft but strained. We misjudged you. His words rippled across every channel, every outpost. You wield forces we thought beyond your comprehension. You fight with courage unbecoming of your station. The Vashkai Empire offers withdrawal and acknowledgement of your sovereignty. Helena watched, stunned. An alien apology. The galaxy would never believe it, but she didn't smile. She looked up at the stars where the Vashkai fleet had burned and whispered, You're only sorry because you bled. The lesson of fire months passed. Human colonies rebuilt. The name Blacklight became legend and rumor. The weapon was dismantled, sealed in orbit under 10 layers of security. Its secret was buried under treaties and silence. But among the stars, a quiet truth began to spread. The Vashkai, once feared conquerors, had been humbled. For the first time in their long imperial history, they lost a war not to a mightier empire, but to the very species they had mocked as dust, and they never forgot. Neither did humanity. Admiral Cross stood years later on the rebuilt surface of Europa, beneath a monument carved from alien wreckage. It bore a single inscription. We asked to be left alone. You didn't listen. She smiled faintly as a Martian wind swept through her hair. Somewhere above, satellites hummed, a network born from the war, built to watch the void for returning threats. Admiral, a young officer said beside her, do you think they'll ever come back? Helena's eyes hardened. Maybe, but next time, we'll be ready. 1. The Vashkai whisper in. A distant nebula, deep within Vashkai territory, Warlord Serakten stood before the High Council. His armor was cracked. His voice, once proud, was low. They have touched forces even we fear, he said. The humans have looked into the abyss and taught it to kneel. The council murmured among themselves, unsettled. One of them hissed, Then they are dangerous. Serakten shook his head slowly. No, they are inevitable. 12. Humanity's triumph decades later. The story became legend. Children on Mars learned of the Battle of Red Orbit as their first lesson in history. Earth's anthem added a verse. From dust we rose and made the stars remember. The galaxy no longer called humans primitive. They called them the race that made gods bleed, and the Vashkai. They watched from afar, nursing their wounded pride. Their emissaries came one by one, not with demands, but with treaties. The balance had shifted forever. Humanity had earned what it had always been denied, respect. And all it took was one act of defiance, one refusal to kneel, and one devastating flash of light that turned an arrogant empire into a cautionary tale whispered across 1,000 worlds.